Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Alberta Youth Challenge Alberta Junior Finals for the MJ18 group. We have Micah, Tyler, Michael, and Cade all playing for the final round. It'll be for the back 9, and as you can see they finished +3, +4, +12, and +13 in the previous round. But now they're going to be facing the back 9 starting from hole number 10 going through 18. We'll take a look here. So first off, we have hole number 10 here, which is a par 3, 315-foot hole, and what it's going to see is a tee box way in the back that's going to hook over to the left eventually into the woods for the basket. A couple obstacles on the way. First up, we have Tyler on the tee box. So Tyler's going to rip a forehand there, trying to cut left to right, but the bushes in the middle and the trees are going to kind of slow his disc down there, but he should have a look towards the basket, although a bit obstructed. Cade for his shot. He's going to try to really put an anhyzer on this disc, and it's not going to be able to turn over as much as he wants. It's going to fade out. A little bit more of an open look, but some distance between him and the basket. Next we have Micah. Micah is going to try to take that hyzer, but it's just a little bit high, maybe not as far right as he wants it. It's going to crash in sort of where Tyler is. And then we have Michael finishing up the first drives here. He's going to hit a nice hyzer, and it's going to cut a little bit earlier than he wanted to. Maybe tried to go around the trees. But once again, all these players have good looks. Got a hit on one of the obstacles there for the approach shot. Tyler parking his way up there too. Micah trying to put his up there. Just going to hit some trees. Maybe bounce over to the left a little bit. There we are. Alright, all 4 players there. Micah unfortunately hits the rim of the basket. Not going to quite make it. But all players now right there. Cade has finished out his shot for a par. Tyler just misses the chains on the right a little bit. It's going to see a little bit more of a tricky challenge putt. Micah finishing up for bogey. Michael's in for par. And then we have Tyler trying to salvage a bogey here. Just comes up a little short. He's going to putt that out for a double bogey, unfortunately. But now we move on to hole number 11. This one's a little bit tricky, really forces your left to right going uphill. It's not too far, but you really have to place your shots carefully. Otherwise, if the disc hits on a little bit too steep of an angle, you might have a bit of a rollaway problem. Obviously, lots of trees still in contention as well. We're going to open this up with Cade. So Cade's going to hit a nice angle there, just a little bit far, grabs the branch and kind of sits it down at the corner. Michael to follow up. He opts to try to go with the anhyzer. Once again, hits just a really high branch, and that just sort of knocks him down at the bend. Micah coming up for the forehand shot. He's trying to size that up. He hits a really, really good angle. A little bit steep. And the disc is just unfortunately going to roll down the hill a little bit. He would have been right parked up there, but it just shows that danger of the hill coming into play there. Tyler's going to do the forehand as well. Maybe a little bit of an early release, hit some trees, but he's going to be up there. He'll have a decent look. Got some of the players trying to scramble their way up here. Really tough with those trees. Kind of limits the options you can take to get up. Micah going to take his second. Hits the tree, but he's going to be up there facing the basket. Has a good chance to finish it out with a good score. Cade looking for his next shot. Oh, and it hits the trees and gets a horrible roll. It's going to keep it a little bit challenging. Michael really fighting from under the tree there. Gets near the basket. Cade now really trying to salvage something here, and the tree just blocks it again. Not having much luck here. Tyler, after a great drive, he's going to put that up and almost puts it in. It's really good effort by him. Cade now to finish it. He gets a solid hit on the chains there to finish out that hole. And the rest of the players just sort of gather around and tap everything in. It's a challenging hole there, so the card made out pretty well. Hole number 12. This one, it goes on to a little bit of a descent, and it has a nice hook from right to left, as you can see here in this screen. The basket will just sort of be perched right down there for a perfect little hyzer shot for your right-handers. But it is a little bit guarded by the trees, so no guarantees even if you hit the line well. These guys are going to try their best to do that. Micah hits the angle really nice. It's going to go to left, and it does hit a tree, but it will be looking pretty good from there. Tyler coming up with his shot. He releases kind of nice. Should skip his way down there a little bit. Now we have Cade opting to go. He's a lefty, so it's going to be trickier for him. He tries to go backhand and hyzer, but the disc isn't going to turn over as much as he'd want. It's going to fade out over to the right. He'll have a little bit more distance for his second shot. Michael throws it nice and high, but that's going to land right down there. He should be looking pretty good from there. Cade off on the right. He's going to try to get his approach over. Kind of goes to the right of the dense tree area, get that distance up to the basket, but he will have a contending shot to get in. Oh, and Micah just hits the chains and out. That's a rough one he's going to want to have back. Michael coming up with his shot. Perfect shot for a birdie. That was a really well executed hole for him. Micah now just a little bit past the basket, but nice easy tap in for him. He's going to finish off with a par. He'll like that. And Tyler, after an amazing drive that put him right up by the basket, gets his birdie. And Cade's just going to tap in his for a bogey. Hole number 13. This one, you have a very long, narrow path going up to the end there, and that's going to hook right eventually, as you'll see, over to the side and onto the basket, surrounded by a little bit of heavy grass, a couple trees, some bush, but more or less pretty open. Tyler's going to lead the way on this hole. He's going to have an awesome forehand. Just hits that angle perfectly, and it's going to skip up to the right. He'll have a great look at the basket from there. Michael will now come follow up with his shot. He rips it hard, but just cranks it over to the right a little bit, hits that tree. That's going to be an unfortunate bounce for him. Micah now trying to do his forehand, and he's going to send it up there. Doesn't hit any trees along the way, so he's got some distance. He'll find himself closer up to the basket. Next up, we have Cade going with his backhand shots. It just releases a little early, unfortunately. Doesn't hit any lumber or anything, so he's going to get up there a bit, but off on the side and in some heavy bush. Michael now really has to try to fight his way up there. He's going to opt for the roller shot, and that's going to actually roll up really nicely up to where he sort of needs to go. Rolls off a little bit earlier, so he's got some distance, but it was a good recovery. And now follow up with his third. Hits a little bit of a tree there. He'll be looking for a bogey finish. Tyler, after his great drive, he's going to throw it just a little bit short. But you know what? That's going to be a nice tap and par. Can't argue with that. Michael finishes off this hole with a bogey. Cade's going to walk up after fighting his way from the bush in the back with his approach shot. He now finishes that out with a par. Now we have Tyler, after his second shot, landing a little bit back. He'll finish that one off for a par as well. And we have Micah, after an amazing drive all the way up here. He finds himself with just a really short birdie putt, and he's going to be liking what he has there. On to hole number 14. So this one is a little bit tricky as well. Very, very narrow off the start. But then once you hit that narrow gap, you sort of have a little bit of a turn to the left there. And once again, the basket guarded by trees. Tons and tons of trees on this course. Really forces these players to really be careful with their shots. We have Micah leading the way here. He's going to rip that one down the middle. Hits that angle perfectly. And that's going to skip up even more. He'll have an excellent look for his second shot. Tyler ripping his out. It just comes out of his hand early and stuffed by that tree really early on. That's very unfortunate for him there. Cade immediately follows that one up. Throws it a little high, but gets that nice kick off the tree there. He'll be just right on the fairway. He'll be looking for maybe a forehand or a hyzer shot. And Michael, what a shot from him. Goes with the overhand there, and it just goes right down into the middle of the fairway. He'll like his second shot from there. Tyler goes with a hardcore anhyzer with his forehand, and that's going to work out pretty well for him. He's up the fairway. Cade going up for his next shot here. It's just going to hit the trees, unfortunately. It's just a little bit further in front of him. Michael moves up, and the disc is going to take a wide angle off to the side there, but he'll look at the basket. Tyler, great shot, but just that branch got in the way. It's going to stop him a little short. Cade now with his shot. Oh, he really tried for the par there. There's a really good effort. But those trees do a really good job of blocking plenty of the putts that come their way. Tyler, nice open shot through the middle. He hits the chains well. That's going to be an excellent finish for his hole there. Micah, after getting an amazing skip from a drive, he's going to put that in for a nice birdie. Well achieved there. Michael, unfortunately, he's going to hit the basket chains, and he's going to have to finish that one off for a bogey. Now we move on to hole number 15. A little bit of a valley in the middle there. It's going to go up. It's about 234 feet. Add a little more for the uphill. But nice, solid hyzer for the right players. Micah's going to lead the way here with his shots. Gets a very, very nice angle. Great distancing. Just finishes a little left of the basket. He's going to love what he had there. Tyler's going to follow up next. Opting to go with a bit of a forehand. Maybe a little bit of a flex higher up. That's going to be working really nice. And just, clips the tree a little bit. But he's right up there by the basket as well. Has a good opportunity for birdie. Cade releases just a little bit early. Hits that really unfortunate tree kick off to the left. He's going to have to try to find some sort of way to maneuver right to left up to the hill. And Michael following up with the last shot. Just gets a beautiful, beautiful angle. Soft by the tree a little bit before the basket, but what an amazing shot. Cade just tries to salvage off from the left. He's going to go out to the right side now, opening it up for a nice approach shot for his third. That's going to skip on up. Almost runs the basket off the skip, but all players are now looking at the basket from a still tricky but doable distance. Tyler's going to send his and just once again finishes off a little to the left. Micah to follow up next. Oh, and he hits the chains off again. That's going to be an unfortunate little bounce. Cade going for his. Just over the rim. Very, very close. Michael follows up. He's going to finish that off with an amazing birdie after an excellent drive to perch himself in the right position. Micah then finishes his off for par. Excellent finish for that. Cade now facing a double bogey, and he skips off. What unfortunate luck for him. He's going to ensure that last one goes in there. He's going to get a triple bogey. Not going to be feeling good about that, unfortunately. But still a few holes left to salvage his score. Got hole number 16. Nice wide open up high. Can take a hyzer angle off to the basket. Once again, just surrounded by trees. These approach shots are incredibly difficult today. Michael is going to lead off the way after getting the birdie on his last hole. He's going to send one up high. Looking for a bit of a flex. Doesn't quite come out of it, but he's down there in the trees. He'll have a nice little scramble through there to get up to the basket. Micah throwing his. Oh, so he's going to finish a little bit outside of the tree border, but he has the distance. He's up there. He'll take a look at the basket. Tyler's going to follow up with his forehand shot. Takes a nice smooth turnover. He'll be up there as well, right sort of by Micah. Cade following his up. He's going to take a wide angle, but has a huge amount of hyzer. That should crash down towards the trees. He'll be liking what he sees. Now we have Cade with his next shot. Hits the trees, but he'll be taking a good look for a par. Micah coming up with his shot. Just takes a nice little layup. Should be an easy par for him. Tyler runs the basket. Just goes a little bit past. And Michael's going to hit a tree when trying to get back. Sets up for his par shot and just misses right. Gives him another challenging look from the other angle. Cade sends his in, finishes off with a strong par. Tyler looking to get his par as well. And hits that very nicely. Drops right in. Michael follows suit. Finishes with a bogey. And Micah with a par as well. Hole number 17 nearing the end here. We got a 200-footer par 3. And this one is going to be also a little bit tricky. You got trees to the left and right. You have that straight down the middle, but it's a little bit intimidating. Micah's going to lead the way here. And he falls victim to those really narrow tree gaps there. Kicking off hard to the left. Tyler will follow that one up. Hits the middle, but it does fade off to the left a little bit. And it's going to catch one of the trees at the end and kick left again. Cade throws his out. Good little hyzer. He'll bank it past the trees, but he'll be further down on the right, making an open shot for his follow-up. And Michael threads the needle down the middle. Awesome shot. He's going to give himself an excellent opportunity for birdie. Micah now trying to salvage his shot. He makes his way through the trees and parks himself up by the basket. He's going to really like that. Tyler, after that left kick off the tree, he's going to try to get his here. Just a little short for birdie, but nice easy tap in for par on the way. Cade, after finding himself right, will just find himself a little bit short of the basket again. Micah finishes off strong, really salvaging an unfortunate first bounce off his drive. He's going to be comfortable finishing with that. Michael, after his beautiful drive down the middle, just misses to the right. That's an unfortunate one for him, but he does get that par score, which you can't argue here. Cade, par as well. And par for Tyler. Now we have the final hole, folks. Number 18. This one's a long one. Par 4, 518 feet. So you have your stretch down the middle there. You can sort of see at the bend, you kind of hit to the bottom of the hill, and then you have to make your way back up again on a slightly left turn, and then over this hill you're going to see that there's actually a little bit more distance than one would think. You got to go all the way over. The basket is perched on the hill, and you keep in mind that there is a lake on the right hand side should you be shooting over there. Micah is going to hit that perfect angle. What a drive. Just goes all the way past that hill at the turn. He's going to love what he sees. He has an open approach for the basket. Tyler, just a little bit lower than he'd want, but he's going to find himself at the bottom of the bend. Cade's going to throw his. What an amazing angle, and just hits the one tree in the middle. That was really unfortunate. Michael's going to send his over. Camera cuts a little bit short there, but he does finish decently open look at the basket. Tyler, what an approach. Almost hits the chains from there. The rain, as you can see, starting to pour, making it a little bit of a tricky finish for these players. Micah's going to send his way up there for an easy approach. Cade as well, finding himself sort of by the water. He's going to hit an excellent approach shot just under the basket. Makes it a nice easy tap in. Michael throwing his way up there as well. Each player nice close to the basket for an easy finish, which is really nice as the rain just started to come down at the 18th hole here. These players are going to be finishing at the right time. All of them just sort of putting out. And that's going to be a wrap. So at the end of the day, folks, players had an excellent match for a really challenging course. We had a -4 for Micah, +5 for Tyler, +8 for Michael, and a +9 for Cade. But that's going to basically sum things up. Micah had the best of the round and has a total of -1, so he scores under par on this course, and he's going to really like what he sees there. But thank you folks for tuning in. I hope you appreciate the video, and check us out next time.